Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word. Everton 1, Cardiff City 0. Another win. 6th place. Or is it like top 5 gap? 7th. You decide.
Oh, be careful. Some people don't like, some people don't like the fact that people don't like the fact that Everton are ignored.
I don't care.
Evertonians on Twitter.
I don't care.
I don't care if they ignore us. I do.
I just don't care.
You don't care.
Let them ignore us.
No, because it's
no. Let them ignore us in May.
No, but I'm just saying. It's a lack of respect. I know ultimately it doesn't mean anything, but it's a lack of respect. When you're saying it's top 5 and then 7th place team.
Where are the big 6?
It's embarrassing.
No, I know.
Although Sky did say yesterday, it's a top 7 now, it's not a top 6 anymore.
Well, it's not a top 7.
It's a top 6 and Everton.
It's not a top 7 till we make it a top 7. We've said this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's about us making it a top 7. It's about us creating not the illusion, the reality of where we are and what we're trying to do.
The rest of the team should be chasing us to try and, you know what I mean? That's without getting ahead of ourselves, that's what Everton need to do, and we've said that for weeks, months, years. That is the next step. But first start of this game, we obviously started with the same team. Any surprised? Were you surprised? No, I wasn't surprised with Mina and Keane, because they, in my opinion, they deserve to stay in after the performance against Chelsea. It's unlucky on Zuma, who's been really good. Lookman was one who I thought could come in. I wasn't surprised it was Walcott, but Lookman was one who I looked and thought he could come in. He's getting more and more minutes. This is a game at home to Cardiff, got a derby coming up. But, ultimately, no, I didn't have any problem with the side, but that would have been the one change, potentially, that would have made.
I agree on that. I'm not an advocate for absolutely demanding that Lookman should play, but I can see that this could have been the game where you would play him. But I honestly think that this is a situation the manager will look at once the derby's gone. I really do. I still think Walcott has got a lot to offer.
Oh, God,
and I think the goal, which we'll talk about, shows you what he's got to offer. Because you can huff and you can puff all day, right? But sometimes you just get a break of the ball and you need someone like Walcott who can just get away from players. And that's why the manager likes him. And I like Walcott. I really do like Walcott. He's also got loads of experience.
Yeah.
And I think in the next few weeks, Lookman's going to come into this team. He is, because we've got so many games to play.
I'm talking about trying to keep Theo fresh and also resetting it.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. I just think that going into the next couple of games, and don't forget as well, Walcott, Lookman, there might have been a little doubt on his fitness as well.
Well, he only trained really Thursday, Friday, didn't he? Because
I always think that, the game after an international break is always scrappy because the players haven't had much time together. We were a little bit fortunate probably that Gylfi and Gomez didn't go away on international duty and probably trained a lot more than obviously they would have. But I just think that you've got to time things right when you're putting players in the team, or even when you're pulling players out the team. So I had no problem with that. No problem with Mina, because I think Mina's the number 1. I really do. I think he will be the number 1, and I think the other two are going to end up battling it out. All three of them should be battling out, and that's, again, I've got no problem with that. Whatever, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant to have these quality players, in the team, sitting on the bench, and you just trust the manager's judgment of the best managers, or the best manager, Alex Ferguson. He knew exactly when to put a player in and pull a player out. Knew exactly. Other managers have struggled with that task. So hopefully we have a manager who knows how to do that. Only time will tell. But obviously no changes. First half, obviously lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of possession. But just never really had the last final ball, did we, in the final third?
No. It was, what was it, 77% or something in the first half of having the ball. It was just too slow.
Yeah.
It was too ponderous, and when teams come, we've said it before, let's not ignore that they had a right full-back, Scotland's right back up front. Callum Patterson.
Plays right back. Goal, wasn't he?
No, but he's a limited dog, isn't he? Donkey of a striker.
It's a bit harsh.
But he's just a big lad. I know. No,
but he's the right back playing up front.
Exactly. So as a centre forward, he's poor. But they had. What he is?
Got love for you, Steve Watson. Got love for you.
Exactly. Well, there you go. I love Steve Watson, but he was terrible up front.
Scored goals.
Not up front. He never. It's 7 games without scoring a goal. Went back to right back, got a hat trick. But they were very well disciplined. As Neil Warnock's sides are, that's some big lads right behind, sat behind the ball. So when teams do that at Goodison, we have to learn how to move the ball quicker. Too many times in first halves this season, it's been too slow. So when teams come and sit and we're passing it slowly, you're not moving them out of position. So it's easy for them to defend, and we only really got through a couple of times in the first half, and that's not really been like us, because normally we do create quite a few chances. We had long range shots from Gomez and Garner, and the best opportunity I suppose we had was the Richarlison header that he should have scored from. Other than that, it was huffing and puffing. They didn't have any. The best chance they had was when Mina decided to try and do a double header instead of just heading it away very early on. He got under the ball, and Patterson dragged it about 50 foot wide when he should have done better. But other than that, they had nothing. So I think sometimes when it's that easy, because it was like a training game at times in terms of possession, you need to move the ball quicker.
See, I didn't really have a problem with the first half in terms of it wasn't brilliant and we had loads of possession. I just thought with it being that game coming back from international duty, you always maybe just need to get the blood pumping through the veins a little bit and just get into a game. And you're right, I still think there's that little bit of not uneasiness, but I think there's two factors. It's almost like I think we've been hurt a couple of times this season where we've had loads of possession and the team just put a long ball down and suddenly we find ourselves giving them a chance. So maybe there was a little bit of like, let's see where we are. And I think footballers, like you just said, when you get into that training game exercise, the pace, they don't necessarily quicken the pace up because it almost becomes like a training exercise. And I think for me on Saturday, I think the biggest problem we had Saturday was that Richarlison didn't look sharp.
No.
So you were maybe looking for that final ball, that final little bit of movement, and it really wasn't there up front Saturday at all. He had quite a poor game really, but that's not a criticism of him, because not saying he didn't try, because he still tries. He just wasn't on it Saturday,
no.
and that he was frustrated. And then he started going looking for the ball, and without that focal point, they dealt with it quite easy. And it's funny you just said about long shots. I want us to have more shots. That is a criticism of this team, is that we need to just, in games like this where you're like, you know what, have a shot, because
put the fleck.
It's good. No, but not just that bad, but it's going to come back to us in about 2 minutes. It's there's not going to be that. I understand where teams will go, well, we'll have the ball for a little bit, so let's not waste it on a long shot, because we mightn't have the ball back for a couple of, against a decent team. But it was always just going to come back to us. So I think at times I'd like to have seen us just some of our players just rip shots from outside the area or take chance, like you just said. You might get a deflection, it might pop in. That's what sometimes it takes in a game like this. But saying that, we were patient, and as a team we were patient, and as a fan base we were patient.
I just thought it was flat the first half.
Well, it was flat.
The crowd were flat. And I think they're the games. And I know, listen, we've had this discussion.
It's not going to happen.
Times, like,
it's not going to happen.
No, but I'm just saying at times, the crowd somehow have got to create some noise and pull the players. Especially now where you can feel like that connection's there with the team again. So it generally happens. I think we need to be maybe just a little bit better as a crowd. We were second half. We were, it got better.
I agree with you, but the problem is, right, that the fans, it's like a double-edged thing. This the fans are being conditioned into not panicking and not getting worried of first half performances because in the last few weeks
you don't have to be. I just mean supportive.
No, I know.
Singing and
but
stuff.
Fans are just like, well, it'll be alright because second half will come up, we'll beat these. So the first half they're almost like just sitting back, relaxing, watching the football. And you're right, but sometimes that needs to be like, that's where you need maybe a
singing section.
Well, I was just going to say nasty tackle or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like that does help, some kind of organisation. But that's one of those things in the game where you're looking for something to go against you, where that can get you going and get you riled up, and it gets both sets of fans riled up. I mean, the incident with Jordan Pickford in the second half, which was horrendous. That helped. That helps.
Well, that lad should have been sent off.
We should have. It was terrible.
But he should have been sent off anyway, for the simple reason that not even an automatic red, although it could have been that. He pulled thingy Bernard back in the first half
and got away with it.
The referee didn't book him, even though he went like that. He let it go because it didn't go out. That would have been his second yellow. So, but I just thought it was consoled. The crowd were good in terms of people weren't getting on anyone's back. The frustrations weren't there. But it was just the final ball. A few times there was a lovely little move, and that last ball wasn't there, or Bernard twice played the ball and there's no one. Dean hadn't gone or whatever, and he's like, and you go, no, look the other way. Gomez done brilliantly, danced away from two, and then it's a shot, and he had another 4 yards to run into, and he could have gone the other corner, and it was just like that little bits where almost came off Coleman, lovely little 1-2, and then didn't pick anyone out with a cross, and then other times they were trying to get him in and it the defender and it just wouldn't break.
It's just final balls at the end of the day.
They just didn't look sharp, and they have done. But again, feeding that back into, we haven't played for 2 weeks. They've been away. The likes of Coleman hasn't been there. Sigurdsson and Gomez, I think Silva said he only got everyone on Friday. Yeah. The first time everyone trained was Friday.
Yeah.
So therefore, and I've heard managers over the years, over the last 30 odd years, saying that the game after an international, just get the 3 points. Yeah. Forget that you never really see a good performance after it, so just get the points and move on.
So that's an obvious constant, isn't it? They don't get the players back, they don't get to work with them, don't get to go through things. Oftentimes the team might be thrown together. It is what it is, and
and that's another reason probably why he went with the same team.
Yeah, well. Exactly. And
they kind of know each other's game.
That's the thing where people were coming up with all kind of outlandish predictions for this game. 4s and 5s, and I never felt like it was going to be like that, because I think Cardiff have got too. They're just a team that would rather get beat 1-0 or 2-0 than take a hammering, because the manager knows that he can. They're that kind of team where he can honestly say to his players, we'll take a defeat here, lads.
I think he's a very honest manager, isn't he? I think he's the type of manager who will go, these will beat us here, we're not good enough. Because he'll say in a press conference, he might say it's 11v11, but these are probably a better side, so don't get hammered.
And exactly, don't get hammered, don't do anything stupid, don't get sent off for the next important game. That's the mindset he would be in, and listen, he stuck them out to do a job. And
I mean, he must be frustrated as a Cardiff fan, because the last 20 minutes, I know they didn't really create that much, but they had more of a go, didn't they? They were more of a threat.
They had no option, though, did they? Really?
No,
they had no option to have a go.
Be like, but then again, I suppose had they started the game like that, we'd have put them to bed.
No, I suppose that was a frustrating thing about the game, but we'll come on to that. Yeah. You mentioned Gomez there. Best game in an Everton shirt, wasn't it? Really?
You know what? I didn't think it was. No. I thought Crystal Palace at home. Okay. He absolutely ran us. I thought don't get me wrong, he was the best player we had on Saturday. I thought his performance against Palace might have just been because I hadn't seen him in an Everton shirt that day. But he was certainly in the first half. He was our best player by a mile. It was the one who was trying to get on the ball, and he got better and better. I thought Garner was our man of the match for me at the weekend, because he was everywhere, and he enables Gomez to play, and he enables Sigurdsson to play. But everything we did in the first half, the one where he went past 3 men and hit the side net, he should have pulled it. He should have either hit it earlier, he took an extra touch, or he should have cut it back. But I haven't seen a midfielder be able to do that, centre midfielder, for a while.
See, I thought it was his best game, because I just seen him do things that I've not seen him do yet, and that's the confidence of
and the fitness, I suppose.
The confidence of in the fitness. That's the thing, is the confidence in the fitness. Coming back after the injury and adapting to the Premier League and things like that. And it was like, listen, it was like a man against boys in there. He just kept on getting the ball, and every time someone tried to get near him, he just stepped away from them, or put his body in between them, or like you were saying a couple of times, getting away from people and running into the box. And not really.
Well, that's what he did at Valencia.
Yeah.
The kind of player he was like. If I remember saying to you when he was out, look at this, and when he was at, not Barcelona as such, but Valencia.
Well, at Barcelona, they asked him to play like a sitting role, and he was just frustrated. He'd get the ball and just give the ball to like Messi or something like that, and you can understand that, but it just didn't suit his game. No. And you know, at Everton, you know, he's getting to do what he wants to do, and obviously, listen, we'll wait and, you know, there's tougher tests ahead, but hopefully going on those tougher tests, now that he's got a little bit more fitness and more confidence in himself, he just looks a hell of a player. And as you just rightly said, with Garner in there as well, the pair of them complement, and then with Gylfi in front of them, you just got a 3 now that all just work individually, and
work hard.
They all work hard, and they all just go and do their jobs brilliantly. And
I think the thing with I think Gomez, he won a lot of headers at the weekend as well. He's not someone who ducks out, which is really good. You know, that can be intimidating coming to the Premier League, and it's more cut and thrust, but he was winning headers. But I think what it does is, Garner's unable to just get on with his job. Now that you see in Garner what we first seen under Koeman, when he was in there for the first half of that season, and he just went, go and do what you need to do. He's doing it. He hasn't got the complications of Schneidlin alongside him or whatever. He's what you see with Garner now as well, is more confidence on the ball. He's going past players like they're not
getting further forward.
And you're like, no.
Because he knows he's got that insurance as well behind him.
Will just go in behind him. And all 3 of them are good footballers. You know, they're comfortable in possession. Certainly Sigurdsson's made up having Gomez, because them 2 just fire it in, bang, touch, off, pop, pop, pop. And Gylfi's now looking like a £45 million player. He's the player that we all hoped he would be 12 months ago when he came in. He's doing it.
I think in the first half, what we lacked was Gylfi making runs into the defence. Now maybe the space wasn't there, but I thought that was something that was a lot more obvious second half, and obviously in the 2 big chances. Well, I'd turn around, you know, to my brother-in-law and mates and that, and said to them, we miss a Kale in this game. We miss someone coming from midfield and arriving late. I think that's what we miss all over. When Richarlison's not in games, we miss someone else in the box. And I just thought second half, Gylfi started to really bust the gut to get in the box. So for the one where he went round the goalkeeper, he almost arrived. You watch that. He arrives late. And we've seen that with Bernard before, where he's coming from behind, but he's bursting to get into the box, and he arrives late, and that takes everyone by surprise. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gylfi was boss all day. He gave that to Everton. What's his name?
Who?
The other Icelandic fella?
Oh, Gunnarsson,
yeah.
We had them all day.
All day.
It was even like just touching it by him, and when he thought he had it, nicking
sorry
it away.
for him.
Yeah, he made it.
He would have been better as an extra in that Viking programme, honestly. But all day played well. But second half, I just thought he started to make those runs from midfield, and that's what we'd been missing. And that's for me what changed it up a little bit, because they just couldn't handle that run. Because Gomez was just prodding and poking, and because Gomez it allowed Gylfi a lot more time and space, and second half he started utilising that. So the one where he goes round the keeper, it's funny because I actually thought that, I know it wasn't, I'm not saying it was a heavy touch, but he didn't actually have to go round the goalkeeper. If he'd almost if the control had been tighter, he could have just put it past the goalkeeper. But the fact that he did that little tap off, which he'd been doing all day, it sent him around the goalkeeper, but it just allowed that defender enough time to get back. Whereas I thought if he took the ball maybe the other way, closer to him, he could have just stroked it home. But I mean, that's there. But for the goal,
the touch though by Bernard for that.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Ball come out the sky, he was killed, and it was the little no eyes.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant, because that's what I'm saying about unlocking defences. Is that Gylfi's made that run. I think he's level with Bernard when Bernard pulls the ball down. So he sprints past, and they're looking at Richarlison, obviously. Yeah. And Bernard.
But that's why Gylfi's got to do more of that. I'd like to see Gylfi start to make more of those runs, because I really do think it's the one thing we need to start doing more of having that late run into the box. Garner could do it as well. You've seen him get in and around, but Gylfi obviously has got the talent to get that ball, and we've seen it. We have seen it a few times this season. That's why he's getting more goals. That's why he's getting into the areas where he's a danger now, and people are starting to pay.
He shifts the ball so well. The one before he'd scored, when he just got cut back to him,
when he put it over,
he just shifted it, and that lad was like, "Where am I?"
Absolute quality.
His level's gone.
I've said it since day one. He's absolute quality. You said it before. You put better players around him. He's got better players. We've seen it last year with him and Rooney. Yeah. The interchanges.
Neither of them was the same, and the other one wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
But the goal, talking about the late run, as we mentioned before, it breaks off one of the
scrappy money.
Well, it breaks off one of the players, and Walcott's just faster than everyone else, and that's why he's in the team.
He's ready for it, though.
He is ready for it, and he hadn't had much of a game up to that game. He'd been unlucky at times. They kept on trying to play that ball,
the little one,
so he could get out to in through between the full back, and it just never came off. But this is where you'd see. If Lookman picks that ball up, he's not going to go straight, and he hasn't got the pace to go straight. He would have done what he would have done, but that's all about pace. And listen, he's confidence. I don't think confidence is massively high with him. So he's just trying to hit the target. He does. Keeper pushes it to Gylfi, and Gylfi, if you watch it again, all the time, Theo's got the ball, Gylfi's screaming for it. He's saying pass it inside all the time, so he's ready for it. He's breaking exactly on the same run as they're on parallel runs, and it forces him. And that's where that's where you want a centre forward to tap.
But if you're Cardiff, you look and go, why is he on his own? But it's because his run's so good. That's what it is. The run is so, and they're caught on the hop, because obviously it's coming together, and the ball breaks, and Walcott out of his feet, bang, and he's away. And he should have scored, but he done what he should have done, which was he made the goalkeeper save it, and he went across the keeper.
If he's confident there, if he's on a good run, he bends that to the other side of the goal. He doesn't go across him, he bends it up, but he's not, so he's trying to just get it on target. Keeper gets a hand out.
It's the right thing to do. Yeah. Aim for the bigger target, because he's having to go down.
Loads of players there would have just smashed it, and it's gone over, and your chance is gone. But he's put it to a position where at least Gylfi's got a tap-in, and it's a tap-in, but watch the run. Watch that he's screaming for it. Watch that he's always involved, Gylfi. Now we've got a week to prepare to go to Snake Mountain. No, not his castle, Greyskull. That's where He-Man lived. Snake Mountain. And we go there in a good frame of mind.
We've 4 out of 5. We've had 4 clean sheets in the last 5 games. We've won 5 out of 7. We're up to 6. We're scoring goals. We've scored in every home game, haven't we? And I think we've had a decent result at Chelsea last time out. So we've got the players who can hurt them. They've got the players who can undoubtedly hurt us. They're a good side, but a lot of teams have gone and caused them. Watford should have had a penalty at 0-0 at the weekend. Stonewall penalty. So you're going to get opportunities. What I would say is we will go and have a go at them, won't we? And that's the thing. And hopefully we're a bit more disciplined than when the
we'll play our own game, and that's the main thing. And we'll see what happens. There you have it. The final word. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on the. Listen, we spoke for ages again about a 1-0 win. I don't know how we do it.
We've won the game.
I know,
and that's why we speak. Last year, do you remember 12 months ago, sitting here and you were panicking? We're going down.
Because we were terrible and we were going down.
So 12 months later, when we're 6th and playing great football and got great players, enjoy it.
Embrace it, enjoy it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We're on our way to 30,000 subscribers. Get us there if you haven't subscribed. Please, please, please subscribe. And you know what? If you want more great videos, 40 a month, join us over on Patreon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.